When you think of Mythical Immortal, do you think of outstanding plays? Or perhaps you might make plays corresponding to your hero knowledge. Similarly, you might think of team fights that show how well you synergize with your own team. But if I were to tell you to scrap what you already know and present to you things I thought I'd never see in these ranks. In my first game, one of my teammates picked Franco in the gold lane. And now I wouldn't say anything because I'm like, play whatever you want, wherever you want. And I feel like Franco damage could work in certain cases. Until I saw that Franco actually went roam. And so I was left with no other choice but to take the gold lane. Nonetheless, I'm very confident to say that things went south very easily. At this point, we're already 4 minutes in the game, and I'm still level 4 because they're putting so much pressure on my lane. And my teammates, well, nowhere to be seen. However, I will admit, I did lose my lane. Definitely could have played this a lot better. And then our jungler finally had enough, and instead of trying to play the game out, he came up with this amazing move. Yep, locked away and AFK in our base. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys said that this rank is anything other than Mythical Immortal. A jungler sitting in their base? Kinda crazy. Anyways, game 1, a loss. Who would be surprised? Second game, I got the mid lane. And someone on our team wasn't that happy that I was the one who took the mid lane. Like they weren't the person to put XP as one of their roles. At this point, I thought that they just wanted to go Chunga XP. I honestly think it's not that bad, especially considering that Chunga is a split pusher. So do y'all want to take a guess before I show you what happens? Alright, fine. Chunga wasn't just walking to my mid lane, he was actually zooming to my mid lane. And so if Chunga isn't gonna go XP, who is? I wonder. You know what, I've always wanted to try Navaria in the XP lane, because she's obviously such a good pick in the XP lane. Needless to say, things went south once again. And then after all of these terrible plays, what do you guys think this amazing Chunga decided to do? Yes, you guessed it! Stay in our base AFK. Now, I don't know if this is some Mythical Immortal syndrome, where when players decide they don't want to play anymore, they just stay in our base like it's a therapy zone. Mind you, this person literally picked Chunga XP. What were they expecting? A savage on a silver platter? But instead, they're getting chocolates. Oh no, the consequences of my own actions. So now I have to sit in the base AFK. Needless to say, we kind of lost hard. Now let's move on to the next game. So in this match, I decided to first pick Selena. Because as you guys can see, none of my teammates decided they want to swap. And our little ST wants to be a little jokester. They want to be funny. So they pick Angela XP. And what is it again do you think I had to do here? Obviously swap, because if I don't swap, she's gonna lose her lane hard. Unless the enemy XP laner decides to like give her a free pass or something. But from our team comp already, we basically lost this. So because I first picked Selena, and because nobody decided to swap, they decided to throw our game. Yep, makes sense. Just because something doesn't go right in our game, I'm gonna throw it for the rest of my teammates. I know that, but in this match, I was very determined to make things happen. And because I didn't want to lose again. So I clutch my heels and clutch my purse, and I lock in. Like, duh, y'all are not gonna catch me. Oh, and I was thriving in the XP lane. I feel like this lane was meant for me, you know. And everything just went the way I'd hoped. I'm winning my lane, and this Angela actually seems to be useful. Angela and I were showing this Arlott who the bosses are around here. My anger from previous games somehow soothed. I was gonna show everyone I was a star, and that I'm finally gonna get my win. And for once, things seem to be going very smoothly. Although our team comp is bad, maybe we have a fighting chance to win the game. Everything seems perfectly wrong. Because tell me why our marksman is 0-5. This is when I noticed that we had literally no DPS other than Kagura and I. Ling and Wanwan were literally severely underfarmed. Although those three seem like liabilities, I am not losing another game. They will do something one way or another. Harry takes over Arlotte's lane because he lost it really badly. And needless to say, he was doing numbers on me. Okay, don't comment on how I missed all of my skills. That's not the point here. Well, the point is that my team is getting absolutely destroyed. And at this point, you tell me, how are you supposed to win a game when not everyone's giving it their all? At this point, it's not a team game, it's whose team can perform best. More precisely, whose team has actual mental stability and doesn't throw the game after one slight inconvenience. Nonetheless, this win was impossible. After this heartbreaking loss, all my questions were answered in a few simple words. I think my team was screwed from the beginning. I know, it's hard to win a game that has already proved to be a loss. However, I pose this question to you. What would it cost you to continue playing and not throw the game? For instance, there's no reason why you should be staying at the base for the slightest inconvenience. MLBB is a team game, and the team that lacks coherency, fluency, and communication are gonna be at a disadvantage. And I also understand that pros might not always play as expected. That is always a factor to consider. So if any of you guys are wondering what the Mythical Immortal looks like compared to other ranks, well, in reality, it doesn't look that much different. It's just in Mythical Immortal, you find people with a lot of badges, and our rank just looks flashy. Some people make Mythical Immortal look like a joke. And I'm only talking about the people who intentionally throw.